Nolly, a young woman of humble origins, knew this better than anyone. She had grown up in a poor village, orphaned at a young age, and left to fend for herself. When Nolly fell in love with a charming trader who promised her a better life, she believed her fortunes were changing. But as quickly as he had come into her life, he disappeared, leaving her with nothing but a broken heart and a baby growing in her womb. When her daughter was born, Nolly named her Amani, meaning peace. But there was little peace in her life. Nolly struggled to provide for her child. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, and no matter how hard she worked, she could barely keep them fed. One fateful evening, after days without food, Nolly made a decision that would haunt her forever. She wrapped Amani in a soft cloth, kissed her tenderly, and placed her in a woven basket. With trembling hands, she carried the basket to a thicket near the riverbank. "I love you, my child," she whispered through tears. "May the spirits watch over you." Her heart breaking with every step, Nolly walked away, leaving the cries of her baby echoing in the night. That same night, King Malik and Queen Amara of Niasha were returning from a neighboring village where they had attended a harvest festival. The couple was beloved by their people, known for their wisdom and kindness, but there was one shadow over their otherwise happy lives. They had no children. As their caravan stopped by the river for a brief rest, King Malik wandered into the bushes, drawn by a strange sound. It was faint at first, but as he stepped closer, it grew louder and sounds like a baby's cry. He pushed aside the branches and gasped at the sight before him. A tiny baby wrapped in a cloth, her dark eyes wide and full of tears. "Amara," he called out. The queen rushed to his side and fell silent when she saw the child. Her heart, which had long ached for a baby of her own, melted instantly. She knelt beside the basket, lifting the infant into her arms. "She's a blessing," Amara said, her voice trembling with emotion. "The gods have answered our prayers," the king agreed, and together, they decided to take the child home and raise her as their own. They named her Zoya, meaning life's gift. Zoya grew up surrounded by love and luxury. The king and queen adored her, and the people of Niasha cherished their young princess, who was as kind as she was beautiful. She had a sharp mind, a curious spirit, and a radiant smile that could brighten even the darkest day. But as Zoya grew older, she began to notice that she was different. Her features were unlike her parents', and whispers among the palace staff hinted at secrets she didn't understand. One day, when Zoya was 10, she overheard two servants talking in hushed tones. "She's not their real daughter," one said. The king and queen found her in the bushes. Zoya's heart raced. She ran to her mother, demanding answers. Queen Amara, with tears in her eyes, explained how they had found her and how much they loved her. "You may not have come from my body, Zoya," the queen said, holding her close. "But you are my daughter in every way that matters." Though reassured by her mother's love, Zoya couldn't shake the feeling that part of her story was missing. Meanwhile, Nolly had made her way to the palace, seeking work. She had no idea that her daughter was being raised as the princess of Niasha. The king and queen, unaware of her past, hired her as a servant. Impressed by her diligence and humility, for years Nolly worked quietly in the palace, her presence barely noticed. But every time she saw Princess Zoya, she felt an inexplicable connection. Something about the young girl's eyes, her smile, and even her laugh felt hauntingly familiar. "Don't be foolish," Nolly told herself. "It's just a coincidence." Yet, she couldn't help but feel drawn to Zoya, watching over her from afar like a guardian spirit. By the time Zoya turned 18, she had grown into a striking young woman with a thirst for knowledge. One day, while exploring the palace archives, she stumbled upon an old tapestry depicting the king and queen's journey on the night she was found. In the tapestry, the baby in the basket was wrapped in a cloth embroidered with an intricate pattern. Zoya recognized the pattern instantly. It matched a scarf she had seen one of the servants wearing. Heart pounding, she sought out the servant. It was Nolly. Zoya confronted her, holding up the scarf. "Where did this come from?" she demanded. Nolly froze, her face pale. The memories she had buried for years came flooding back. She tried to deny it, but the truth was written all over her face. Finally, she broke down, tears streaming down her cheeks. "I prayed this day would never come," she said. "But the gods have their plans." Through sobs, Nolly told Zoya everything, how she had been forced to abandon her as a baby, how she had prayed for her safety, and how she had carried the guilt with her every day since. Zoya was stunned. Anger, betrayal, and confusion swirled within her. "You left me to die," she said, her voice shaking. "I thought I was giving you a chance at life," Nolly replied, "and the gods answered my prayers by placing you in the hands of the king and queen." The revelation sent shockwaves through the palace. The king and queen, though heartbroken to learn of Zoya's origins, were grateful to Nali for bringing her into their lives, even if it had been unintentional. Zoya, however, struggled to come to terms with the truth. She felt torn between the mother who had given her life and the parents who had raised her. For days, she avoided Nali, unable to face her. But as time passed, Zoya began to reflect on everything she had learned. She realized that Nali's actions, while painful, had been born out of love and desperation. One evening, Zoya found Nali in the palace gardens, tending to the flowers. "I hated you," Zoya said, her voice breaking. "But I think I understand now." Nali looked up, her eyes filled with tears. "I never stopped loving you, Zoya, not for a single moment." With trembling hands, Zoya reached out and embraced her birth mother. In the years that followed, Zoya learned to embrace both parts of her identity. She honored the king and queen as her parents, but she also formed a bond with Nali, who remained in the palace as a cherished member of the family. Together, they proved that love, no matter how complicated, can heal even the deepest wounds. And so, in the kingdom of Nyasha, under the shade of its ancient trees, the cries of an abandoned baby became the foundation of a story that would be told for generations, a story of forgiveness, destiny, and the unyielding power of love. If this video sparks an emotion or inspires you, share it with someone you love. Also, leave your thoughts in the comments section. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more captivating and entertaining African folklore stories. Thanks for watching.